Detroit media icon Ryan Ermanni, University of Michigan great Braylon Edwards, and of course, Maz are about to take over on Woodward Sports. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m., it's the best Detroit sports talk on Detroit's best sports network, Woodward Sports.
Welcome in on this Thursday. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Ryan Ermanni not joining us, but before we introduce Anson, who else will be joining us? Oh, it might. I'm in the zone over here, man. My apologies. There we go. You guys can hear me. Yes. Let's start this again. Welcome in, Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Ryan Ermanni won't be joining us, but before we introduce Anson, we would like to say happy birthday to ours here, Ryan Ermanni. Celebrates his 46th birthday today. So, what's going on, big guy? You're not too old. We're close, but Ryan's starting to get to 50 a little closer and faster than I am. But happy birthday, big guy. But with that, Anson, how you doing, my guy?
I'm excellent. The sun is shining today.
It is.
Sun shining real nice today. Pistons lost, but they still showed a lot of fight. I'm happy with the way they played last night.
Yeah, we'll get into the Pistons who lost their third in a row yesterday to the Indianapolis Pacers. We'll dive a little deeper into that. I have some thought on the last 3 games. But before we do that, Maz, KG, and P. Spivak, I think we should all say, our hearts go out to the families of the flight American Eagle 5392, as well as the helicopter, the U.S. military helicopter. A lot of people lost their lives in the crash.
Horrible.
Last night in D.C. I happened to be up. I think I had dozed off and woke up to use the bathroom, and I'm up a little bit scrolling on my timeline, and once again, in this world we live in, Maz, where it's AI and it's this, you don't know what's what and what's what. But then once you see the conversations and once you start getting the text, my cousin who lived about 15 minutes from there, she said it was loud. It sounded like a war zone, man. But our hearts are definitely out to those individuals. And it's crazy. I don't know what to think, really.
Yeah,
in D.C. of all places,
there's obviously some skaters lost their lives, and a few of them are actually attached a little bit to some people here at the network. So it's definitely a sad day. I'm looking to find out more information on who was on the helicopter. We haven't heard anything about that. You guys know I'm a conspiracy theorist, so I'd like to find out what the deal is with that, because from the video, looks like that thing makes a beeline to be able to connect. And when you're in the air, it takes a lot to collide.
Yeah.
So it's very unfortunate, and there'll be a lot more information to come, I'm sure.
What are some of the conspiracy theories? What are they? I'd like to know.
We was doing something.
Well, okay, so let's talk about the plane that disappeared over the Pacific Ocean.
So let's just concentrate on this one right now.
Well, no, it's the same type of thing. So you look back at the Titanic, you look back at the flight that disappeared over the Pacific, and there were some very, very important people on that plane.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of thought process that I have right now. This is just something that we don't see. There's, one side of the coin's talking about, FAA layoffs with the incoming Trump administration, whereas on the other side of the coin, they're blaming it on the DEI hires over the last year or last 4 years being responsible for it. But what it comes down to is that there's a bunch of information on the commercial liner, and there's zero information on the military side. And realistically, when you look at it, you know that the plane had its orders from the tower, so you'd probably put more fault on the helicopter at this point. I want to know who was aboard. I'd like to know more about who was on board aside from just the figure skaters that unfortunately sadly lost their lives.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Want to learn more about it. We get more information. We can start to dive a little deeper into the conspiracy theory things. The one thing I hate about that side, and you will never hear me talk about DEI as it relates to that, because that's only trying to punish black folks. So I don't want to get too deep into that.
So let me give you a clue.
Not today.
No, you can't do that and then pull it back.
Not today.
I told y'all, man.
No, just hold on here. So
how about this? Can I just say something?
Sure.
Right, Anson, let's not go that route.
Severe intellectual disability, psychiatric issues, and complete paralysis are things that they hired people in to run FAA. So, when I hear that, I know a lot of people go right for the race card, but the fact is that you should be hiring based off of merit at this point in this country. And if you're not, and you're taking very, very important things like air travel, and you got somebody doing the wrong job in there, and I'm not trying to blame this on either side right now.
Right.
I want to know who was in the helicopter.
I agree. So let's stick to the helicopter. 100%.
Yeah, just the families involved. The condolences to everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the most important day. Today is about the victims.
If it's a conspiracy and it really truly is, we're never going to know what it was anyway. So what's the difference?
Hey, we're finding out about JFK finally, right?
Yeah, sure. Like the driver shot JFK. That's the latest.
LBJ,
Yeah,
baby.
like,
He's
come
been
on.
behind
The
it for
driver
the whole way.
turned around and shot him.
like,
okay.
what?
Okay. I trust me. No one wants to know more about the JFK conspiracy than me. That is like, I can't tell you
I don't know.
how many shows I watch.
My dad, rest in peace,
on
would have
that.
gave you a run for his
And
money.
we'll never, ever find out what the hell happened that day. I'd love to know, though. I'd love to know.
Starts with more than one shooter.
That's why I always stick to sports and stick to the 70s and 80s on my music. I'm good to go, man.
All right, sorry to bore you guys with those things. Just thought we would mention those and move right along. Look, let's get back into the Pistons. The Pistons lose last night to the Indianapolis Pacers, 133 to 119, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, they lost 3 in a row." Same old Pistons, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's just not the case. At the end of the day, the Detroit Pistons are without their second or third best player, and that's talking about Jaden Ivey, somebody that was helping this team build. Eventually, you run into good teams. They played a lot of teams that aren't necessarily good. This time they played the Indianapolis Pacers, one of the best teams in the East, and you see Halliburton starting to try to figure it out. Pascal Siakam has been hot as of late. You look at the other loss. They lost to the Cleveland Cavs. Last time I checked, the Cleveland Cavs are the number 1 team in basketball, statistically speaking. And also they beat OKC twice, in OKC and in Cleveland. So they played against 2 of the best teams in the East, so you got to give them a little bit of a pass. And the other one's a throwaway. They lost against the Orlando Magic. Like, when you're cooking with grease, like they have been, Anson, like, you're going to lose here or there. This is still the NBA. There's 82 games.
Yeah, and realistically, you look at that game, the Pacers could not miss.
No.
They couldn't miss from
Neymar,
3.
whatever the heck his
They
name
couldn't
is.
miss anywhere. And, Siakam was absolutely on fire. Yeah. But I think what was really on display last night were 2 things that revolve around Cade Cunningham. One of them being teams are understanding how to defend him. They are picking him up 3/4 court or at the very least at half court, and he is facing a buttload of double teams. Pause. So, did I do it right?
Yeah, both.
That was great.
Anyway,
You did do the part.
There you go. There you go. It'll be easy.
I'm learning. So, what we're seeing is the lack of a true second option for the Pistons offensively. And yeah, we talk about the Sasser and Asar being assistants in terms of handling the ball and bringing it up. But when you have Cade out there and he is your sole scorer and everything, the offense goes completely through him, teams are figuring that out. And he's having a hard time breaking the double teams. I mean, he's pretty darn good at breaking double teams, but he's finding himself in some issues. And what's happened is when you take him out of the play, you're relying on one of these other 4 guys to make a basket. Pretty much every one of them, unless you're talking about Tobias Harris in the post, is a spot-up shooter. Nobody out there is creating their own shots for themselves. Sar's doing a good job of getting the basket. Game's starting to slow down for him a little bit, but it's still not quite there to be able to finish the way you'd like to see him. And without Jaden Ivey, it's a real problem for this team. If we have teams like the Cavs, like the Pacers, like we've been seeing these teams double-teaming Cade's going to have to grow and get out of that. But even so, if you don't have help, you can break double teams, but you're still going to find yourselves in rush shots and turnovers. And that's what we saw last night a lot from Cade, and we've seen that over the last couple of weeks. They need another option. Speaking of which, Dante, I know your boy was just that you hate went for 19 and 10 last night. Kyle Kuzma, 30 and 10 two games ago. So I don't know why he wouldn't help, but we definitely need another scorer here for the Pistons.
Anybody say their eyebrows, man, and wear some of the outfits he wear? No, thank you.
Yeah.
Next Thursday is
Thank you.
Thursday's the deadline, 3 o'clock.
Right.
And like we said, I think the Pistons will be involved in a lot of these trades. But I'll tell you, they lost that game last night before it started.
Yeah.
Because Beef Stew had revenge on his mind. And these 2 teams mix it up. They don't like each other. And I think that's the first thing that the Pistons were worried about. Let's just go out and show these guys we're tougher than them.
Agreed.
I believe that's where they lost the game. Because if he's in the game most of the time, maybe that game is a lot closer than it was. Just concentrate on winning the game. Don't concentrate on taking someone's number. Wait for the end of the year for that.
Well, Pistons went on a pretty nice run after he got kicked out.
Yeah.
Same deal after JB got himself kicked out
They
the other
closed the
night.
gap 3 times.
But I do think that you are onto something, Maz, in the fact that these guys came out with a physical game in mind, while the Pacers were out shooting from the perimeter, finding space and knocking down jumpers. And, the free throws were pretty close. I didn't like some of the calls, especially in the second half. But after, Stu does what he does, you become the bad boys again. You're not getting whistled.
Well, that boy Anson loves those Pistons. I love that you watch every detail of it. Maz, you're absolutely correct about that. Look, but they got to find out, excuse me, the bad boys, the going-to-work Pistons, very physical teams, but at the end of the day, they were physical at the right time. They knew how to pick their spots. They knew what the game called for. They knew when it was time to be a bruiser. They knew when it was time to set somebody up and then pull back. That's what the Pistons and Beef Stew have to get to. Now you don't just walk in every game and you're the big guy. No, you still got to play basketball.
Yeah.
This is a basketball court. This is not a schoolyard.
I put this on JB Bickerstaff this game.
They have to learn when to be tough. They have to learn how to cool their emotions. Like, it's okay to hate a team. Like, every time we played the Steelers when I was in Cleveland, like, we hate the Steelers. You're born into the rivalry, but you got to learn how to play within the game. We couldn't as Cleveland Browns. That's why they whooped our you-know-what all the time. You
Remember
gotta
the
learn
last
how to
game
play.
they played, and JB was very outspoken. Remember? He got thrown out of that game as well.
Yeah.
And on his way out of the court, he's like, hey, they're not so tough when we were ahead in our building. I remember him.
Yeah, he did at the podium.
Remember
He said
that?
yeah.
I'm telling you, they brought the wrong attitude into last night's game. If they keep doing that again, Indy will beat them every single time.
I don't hate to see it.
Yeah, I'm not mad
not
at
at all.
it.
You asked me, would I rather have SGA or Cade? And after watching the game last night, it's Cade all day.
Yeah,
he is Detroit. He embodies what it means to be a Detroiter, but even more so what it means to be a Piston, because the only successful Pistons we've ever seen here were highly physical, and they got into your head. Pistons aren't there yet, though. They haven't won enough games. They've only been a good team for a couple months.
Yeah.
So they've got to learn how to win and how to control your opponent's emotions versus how they allowed their emotions to completely be controlled by the Pacers last night.
Yeah,
and
we got
JB, for a couple weeks now, we've been seeing a lot of fire out of him, which I don't mind.
I don't mind
Keep it
that
up.
either.
Keep it up. Keep throwing the elbows. Keep putting guys on their asses.
Yeah.
However, you've got to find some finesse in there too.
Because other teams are gonna know, hey,
Yeah, they
we
gonna
can get
target
under
him.
this team's skin.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yep.
And that's how you beat them.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Look, at the end of the day, they've only won a couple games, so let's not get carried away talk about the the finals. But there is that element there. Like, the leaders of the Detroit Pistons have always been the best players and scrappers. Like, you look at a guy like Isaiah Thomas, you're like, oh, yeah, he's a short guy. Those guys will fight for him.
Mm-hmm.
No, Isaiah was the craziest one.
Southside, let's go.
Like, 100%. But Chauncey Billups, very quiet, very dialed in. I know Chauncey personally, much like you do. We know what Chauncey was about when the time was right. So I think he's embodying that, and that's why I would take him over SGA as
Dirty side of the Mile High City.
100%. Maz, you threw this in here. I thought this was interesting. Adam Silver, commissioner of the NBA. Well, he's taking flack for all the offense and the astronomical numbers, and nobody can stop anybody. Well, now
The league sucks.
it does, but he has a thought on how he can make the NBA better. Check it out.
and I'm probably in a minority. As we get more involved in global basketball, the NBA is the only league that plays 48 minutes. And I am a fan of 4 10-minute quarters. I'm not sure that many others are. I mean, putting aside what it means for records and things like that, I think that a 2-hour format for a game is more consistent with sort of modern television habits. I don't think people in arenas aren't asking us to shorten the game, but I think as a television program, being 2 hours, that's Olympic basketball, is 2 hours. College basketball, of course, is
Yeah, but
is
if
40
you
minutes.
like it, I'd say it has kind of a little bit of a push there.
Yeah, but it's such a dramatic change to the game. I mean, I think something like that would have to be talked more about.
You say Dan Patrick show for that clip. I'm gonna start with this. Why don't we just start playing the games in pairs? Why don't we just do a season in Sydney, Australia? Yeah, how about we go to inserts? Let's go to Spain. Are we trying to be Euro? Like, this is the Euro League now? Look, I was cool with Adam Silver in the beginning when he became the commissioner because you understood it was a changing of the guard. He was going to do inclusion, and that was his wheelhouse and blah, blah, blah. But now it's like, bruh, 10-minute quarters? Because the offense sucks. Because the offense in the NBA sucks now. Everybody's scoring at will. There's no defense. You softened it up. And now all of a sudden, you're just scoring astronomically, and you can't control it because there's no defense. So this is what we do. This is the the solution, if you will. Shorter quarters, shorter quarters.
He wants to make it into a TV show. You heard him.
It's gimmicky.
It's a 2-hour show. Here it is. Here's your 2-hour show.
It's gimmick.
Meanwhile, you're at the arena, and you're stuck up trying to get a pretzel and a soda or a beer, and you come back and the damn quarter's over.
The game's over.
A cashless beer, by the way.
Yes, a cashless beer. So
what is
as
this?
far as I'm concerned, leave it alone. If you want to change the game, there are rules that you can do, like the 3-point line, the corner jumper, which is an automatic 3 points now. Maybe you move the line a little bit. Maybe you come up with a 4-point play somehow. I don't know. Maybe
Great.
you
Now
widen,
people are scoring 230.
widen the lane. I don't know. I don't know. But they don't call traveling. They haven't called traveling in like 20 years. I mean, there are rules to the game. There are rules. LeBron has broken every single rule in this game, and they've let him and they let guys like him get away with it. So as far as me watching a basketball game, I wait to the playoffs. I'm bored. But when I go to the arena, it's my favorite game to go to is a basketball game. Out of all the sports, including baseball, I love going and watching a basketball game. I don't know why. There's something about it if you're sitting close, not up on the rafters.
It's the only game without helmets. It's the only game that you can end up in somebody's lap.
It's a game that all of us can play. All of us can play basketball. If you could shoot, if you could hit a free throw, it just means a lot to me. And I wish the game was like it used to be.
Man,
and it's not.
Even the final sucks now.
I know.
Right now off the top, who played in the finals last year?
I got to really think about it.
I had to too. I know who it is, but
it.
it was the Celtics and the Mavericks.
And
it was a horrible finals.
I wouldn't have guessed the Mavericks.
We knew who was going to win that at the beginning of the year.
Wow.
And they were the best team all year. They're the best team in the playoffs, and they damn sure the best team in the finals.
Pistons play the Mavs tomorrow, by the way.
I'll be there.
Yeah,
I'll
I think
be
I'm
there.
going too.
Pete, what you
Lucas
got?
not playing.
Well, I was just going to ask you guys a question. I mean, if this thing is going to be going down with shortening games to 2 hours on television, and Matt, as you're talking about standing in line for a pretzel, ticket prices have to be affected by this. Don't you pay for ticket prices right now? I mean, I'm just saying, like an average ticket price is for a 3.5 hour
I got to pay more.
Now you're paying for the same price for a 2 hour game. They ain't gonna fly.
I went to see Chauncey when he was here with the Trailblazers. I went at the end of the third quarter to get some food. Everything's shut down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but that's been up for a while.
I mean, I thought it was just beer sales and alcohol sales.
No.
The bar was open. I couldn't get a pizza.
Yeah.
At Little Caesars Arena.
Yeah.
Yeah.
bad news.
Coming back to what you guys are just talking about, I'm sure that a 40-year-old LeBron is in favor of 40 minutes. And I think that
I got the answer on why the pizza and the food stuff was closed down as well.
Okay. Go ahead.
It's just economics of the city of Detroit. Like, you force people to leave and eat downtown Detroit, eat other
That's
places
closed
outside.
too, Bray. There's restaurants closing at 10 o'clock.
True,
Since
but
COVID, yeah.
Well,
was
10
just my
o'clock
guess.
would fall right in underneath that 2-hour game. But
Exactly.
my issue with this is, hey, this is a game that was created and perfected in North America. Shout out James Naismith from Canada. But it was perfected and became the world's game because of what the NBA did, the precedents that were set. The reason that this game has gone backwards in terms of fanfare and numbers is because of their absolute desire to copy the foreign game. Everything from changing the ball to the Euro step to the way they defend, all of it. And you got a guy in Luka who's not interested in defending anything, getting MVP awards, which is, it's ridiculous. And you've got a league that you've alienated half of your base. Basically anybody 30, 35 and up that's gotten used to the NBA our whole lives, you get alienated watching these guys being able to have a whole extra step.
You're looking at me.
Yeah. And
I can't complain enough about that.
For sure. And so why are they desperate to be the ABA, CBA, non-NBA leagues overseas when all those kids since 1992 have been trying to get in the NBA? The fact that he just disregarded what it would do to the records of this storied league is ridiculous. Just throwing that aside.
He did mention records.
He said that aside, like
that
it's
aside.
a footnote. Come on, man.
Right.
nobody. What they're basically doing is shortening the game so nobody can ever catch LeBron James. Can't ever catch a spread.
There you go.
That was a joke, by the way.
Yeah, I was about to say, don't get these LeBron
I'm just
haters
messing with.
no
But at the
ammo.
end of the day, the reason why the league is only going to get worse based off this merit, they're trying to turn it into the Euro League. But the Euro League, way more competitive. That's what they're trying to get to. It's more competitive. The games are good. It's team ball. Problem is, we're getting their stars sent over here.
Right.
Their stars come over to the American version of basketball. Then they get lazy. None of these foreign guys play defense. And then you got a bunch of young kids in America that are trying to find where their niche is. Like, I'm in high school, but I want to come out. I don't want to go to the league. But I this is what I have talent-wise. But I think I'm ready to play in the NBA. Now they're sitting 4 or 5 years in the NBA before they can get going. Like, that is the cycle that we're in right now. Like, that is just what it is. And it's I don't see it getting any better soon.
Listen to me. 30 NBA teams, right? There's 30.
What happens when the stars gone? LeBron, KD, Steph. What happens when they leave? Then you're really going to have people disinterested.
There are way too many teams. There are. 30 teams is too much. It's watered down. There are so many bad teams. Look, we talk about the East. It's so bad. It's so bad. Then let's freaking move some teams together. And I know it'll never happen. But there are too many teams in this league for the talent that they're giving us. And the one and dones, and I'll say this. I believe if you go to college, I believe all the leagues should do this. You need 2 years of college before you're playing in the league.
I do agree with that.
2 years of college before. Now, high school kids, I'm sorry. No. If you want to go to the G League, maybe there's a rule for high school kids to go to the G League. But the NBA, the NFL, MLB don't count, and the NHL, that don't count either. 2 years in college, it'll improve college basketball immensely. It'll improve the NBA immensely. Think of the draft. The draft is almost not worth it unless there's a Victor Wembanyama. Besides that, whoever you pick, they ain't playing. They're not playing. Look at Cade. It took him how many years to become the player he is now? It's the one and done is ruining sports.
Can I provide a suggestion for what they could try with that scenario, the one and done? You know how they do these camps. They do the combines. They do the camps. They have the guys that want to come out, put them together like you do in these camps. The ones that you know aren't going to come in this year and do anything, or they're not going to cook, or they don't fit the bill. They don't fit the, okay, this guy can go on the team. He's mature enough for the NBA game. Sometimes you know. You can watch a run game. Like when you were watching Bronny play, I love Bronny. I love what he did in the G League. But if you're talking about playing NBA minutes in meaningful games, he's not built for that. And you can say, look, we don't believe insert player's name here is ready this season.
Yeah.
Now you got to go back. Now you get the option to go back to school. Like that could be a way to do it because you know when you know. He's not ready yet. But come back next year.
The sport, like we talked about before, is in a transition period. And I think it starts with how it's being reffed and how it's being coached at the lowest levels. Because we're waiting on the next evolution of basketball. It evolved into a three-point game, which I embraced at first because people said Golden State couldn't win like that, and then you look up and they had one of the greatest dynasties in NBA history.
I embraced it when it was one person doing it.
Well, true, but it's a copycat league, and now it has gone through the league to the point where they do need to change some things up. And I think because they blow the whistle so much, because stoppages can be so long when they try to review things, you have really taken the physicality out of the game. And as far as like how it's coached from a lower level, because like we talk about, it's all threes and layups and dunks at this point. There is no mid-range game to be found, and defense is rarely being played. And they're coaching this at the lowest levels. You see kids in AAU basketball taking 30, 40-foot jump shots, and it's like it's kind of crazy. And even though you have the ability to do that, I think they do need to go back to coaching it in a more physical way like they used to. But I mean, those are just starting points. I don't know what's the end-all be-all for the NBA. Like I said, we are still waiting for the next evolution of it, and I'm interested to see what it will be.
KG, that was a great conversation by you. I remember literally one of my dad's good friends, Rico Jenkins, said, what's going on? He invited me to, see this young kid, the standout kid. Yo, you got to see this kid play. This was, I don't know, like 4 or 5 years ago, 3, 4, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Come see the standout kid. So we go see the standout kid. Don't you know by halftime, between the two teams, there were 61 three-pointers attempted?
Oh, my God.
It was halftime, man.
Everybody wants to be
61 threes at a halftime.
Yep.
Man, this wasn't even a high school game.
Yeah.
It was an 8th grader.
It's Steph and Caitlin. Everyone wants to be that. Girls want to be Caitlin. The boys want to be a Steph Curry.
Yeah,
You know what? It's called basketball. I'll put the ball in the basket.
Yeah,
I'm a fan of the three-point shot,
Yeah.
believe it or not. But something's got to change in this game. And like I said, there's a lot of really terrible teams. I mean, really terrible teams. Can you imagine if you took 4 teams out of the league and took those players and merged them into other teams? How much better the league would be right then and there. You're never going to see Celtics-Lakers again at this rate. Never.
Well, on that thought,
No city's giving up a team.
I got to make the
I know
point
that.
that one of the things that they're missing most about comparing the NBA to the Euro game is relegation. And when you have relegation, you don't have teams throwing the towel in early in the season.
Yeah, this is true.
You've got guys at the lower levels that, hey, I might not be able to get picked up on a 10-day contract, but if we win the whole damn thing, we're all going next year. And I think that relegation for multiple leagues in the United States, the major 4, would be hugely valuable, and that's the only way that you can try and take the Euro game and bring it here, because that is what makes the Euro game and football all over the world so special. Because if you screw up a season, you can screw up your whole franchise.
Bye-bye. I don't know how it works
America
in our
would
leagues.
never go for it, though.
I don't know how it works in our leagues, but it works in soccer, and that's the most. It's the sport, right, in the world, but not here. That's what I mean. It don't work here.
Cheapest sport to play.
But but along your idea, if you take the bottom 2 teams out, and then you
Who would that be? Washington and who right now?
Certainly Washington, somebody else in the West, I forget. But you take those 2 teams, and now you put all of that talent into the G League. And now you've got a watchable product on the minor level.
They're destroying. They'll destroy G League teams.
No. Those guys. Well, I mean, it depends on how it's done. There isn't a format though where those guys would be filtered down into the G League, and maybe you just take 2 teams away and you do an expansion for the G League where all of these teams are good now, and this whole G League is playing to be able to make it back up the next season. Be interesting. The fact that the NBA is trying to be the game that was made because of the NBA, because of the Dream Team. You have to look at all the different things that make those leagues successful, and I think that one of the biggest ones is relegation. It's not the Euro step. It's not the lack of physical play. It's not high scoring, and it's not even the raucous crowds over there, because those raucous crowds are never going to come over to the United States. That's how they love their sports over there. So I can't stand Adam Silver. I haven't since the day he came in. I think that he's done nothing but ruin the product, and now it sounds like he wants to take it a step further.
Well, look at baseball. They put the pitch clock in. A lot of people cried about
Best
that.
thing ever happened.
You can't throw to first base more than twice. A lot of people cried about that. I love both those rules. The NFL, they changed the kickoff. I hate that rule. So there's give and take. The NHL, they got rid of the offsides, the icing. You make the icing a quick whistle instead of going down to touch the puck. I love that. So the NBA, they got to take a chance and change some rules as well. That's coming, man. It has to. Otherwise, well, they don't care about me anymore. But they're gonna lose. They're gonna lose a lot of fans, and they already have. This is one of their worst seasons ever when it comes to viewers, not money.
And one of the big things that they have to do as it relates to the referees, like you got to get these referees to like fall in line, because the referees in the NBA, above all these, they are trying to be superstars.
Yeah.
The referees in the NBAs, they want the TV time, they're teeing up for no reason, like they're trying to become a part of the act. You are a part of the act. Your job is to follow the play, the game play. When you see a call, you blow your whistle. Not all the extra stuff. That will help the NBA, I think, immensely.
And every 5 plays, it seems to be a review on something, too. And they've gotten a little bit quicker about expediting the reviews. But all those stoppages, all these fouls, man, I really do feel if you call less fouls, I think that can help a lot.
Let's go look at the little 6-inch TV screen.
Yeah, like, it's silly. It's
Really?
silly.
Let's take away the 3-point line for just one season.
Oh, hell no.
Just one season.
That'll never happen.
Dunks go up. Come on, man. I mean, physicality it gets returned to the game. Just one season.
How about pushing it back?
Pushing it back, I'm all for that.
Okay, push the damn line back then.
Especially in the corner.
Yes.
God, watching guys just sit there and hide in the corner all game
That's what
long.
I said. Take the
guys
corner away.
get to the rack, get in trouble. I know I can kick it to the corner. that was one of the first things that started ruining basketball.
Put the line on the corner coming out.
Yeah.
So there's no corner.
Absolutely.
There's no corner.
I'm pretty sure it was Bobby Knight who said that the three-point stripe was going to ruin the game. I'm pretty sure it was Bobby Knight who said that.
Yeah, he getting pretty right.
I don't think it ruins the game, though.
It don't ruin the game.
What?
I'm not saying
It didn't ruin the game for a long time, but now
It's just dominate.
51 attempts per game by the defending champion Celtics.
But
who wants to watch that?
I totally agree. But that's why I said the next evolution I'm interested to see, because in the 90s it was dunks, right? In the early 2000s it was playmaking, ball handling that dominated, and then in the 2010s to now it's been the three-point shot.
80s it was the dunk, my young friend.
Well, true.
The
but
90s
carried
it was
into
the hand check. And the three-point line being moved in and then being moved back out. So the heyday for the NBA was physical dunk basketball. We all know.
Yeah, true. My last thoughts on this is whatever you do to the game, when you're bringing in these 18-year-olds that do not know how to play, when they don't have the right teaching as it relates to the fundamentals of the game, I don't care what changes you make. These 18, 19, 20-year-olds that are coming in are still not going to be able to play for 3-4 years. So it will still be a slow process.
They don't belong in the league.
100%. Like, you know when you know. Like, back in the day, it was like, yo, Kevin Garnett wants to come out of high school. You know what? Yeah, he deserves to. Hey, you know what? Moses Malone. You know what? He's probably going to be a damn good player. KG.
What if it's
Kobe.
a rule, right?
You said what?
But if it's a rule, then
I
you know what?
understand
Guy
it,
like Wemby, if there's a rule, then that's the rule.
And kids ain't even going to college now. They just going straight to the
Well,
G.
that shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't mind that. You should have to stay there for a certain amount of time.
Any of you guys Pro Bowl watchers?
Hell no.
Like,
not no
like
more.
it
used to watch
today.
I used to watch
Not
it.
since 2010.
Do they wear pads still?
No.
Or is that just the
It's
flag
flat,
football?
It's flag football.
That's it.
It's flat.
They do
It's
We'll
events.
show you.
Well,
We're gonna come back and teach you.
Yeah,
No,
well,
thanks.
I'm not. But anyway, let's pay some bills and we'll come back and we'll talk about the Pro Bowl or whatever they call it nowadays. You get the message from Les Stanford.
And listen, it is that new year. It's new you. It's new car time. Let's Stanford Buick GMC is here for you. They've got an amazing 2025 Hummer EV SUV as well as a 2025 GMC Sierra 1500 crew cab. They got all kinds of discounts. Don't have to put a lot of money down. You want to make sure you get in on that sign and drive. No down payment required. Get to Les Stanford today or click on that QR code that's not above my head and check out their massive inventory. Les Stanford Buick and GMC, lesstanford.com.
All right, guys, and football's big game. You know what it's called. Right around the corner. Make sure you're ready to get the most out of your favorite sports with the best sports book made in Michigan for Michigan. From Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Fund your online account with cash. No need to link a credit card or bank account. Get 100% deposit. They'll match it right up to $1,000 plus 50 free spins. Visit playeagle.com. Download the Eagle Casino and Sports app today. Look for Eagle Casino and Sports for Android and Apple users.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
Listen, if the way basketball is being played is stressing you out and you need a drink, listen, we got you, man. It is 1800 Tequila, the best tequila on the market right now, and the official tequila of Woodward Sports Lions watch parties and the post-game show, and the proud sponsor of your and our Detroit Lions. 1800 Tequila, the best taste in tequila, and please, y'all, drink responsibly.
Woodward Sports, get ready, because this Friday, January 31st, that's tomorrow, through the 2nd, that's Sunday, the Winter Blast presented by, that's right, Winter Blast presented by Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. You get to join the birthday boy, Ryan Ermanni, Mr. Braylon Edwards, and of course, Maz. They'll be down there from 2 to 4 tomorrow. Don't miss the cool events, including free ice skating, spectacular ice sculptures, live music in heated tents, marshmallow roasting, food trucks galore, and thrills from a 300-foot zip line going over the city.
Can't wait to see
You know what the best part is, Maz?
What's that?
It's free, bro.
Free?
It is
It's free, it's me.
That's right. So get your butts down there, Woodward Sports. For more info, head to winterblast.com.
You should come.
Yeah.
Why don't you show up tomorrow?
You got me over thinking
I'll
about
buy you a hot chocolate.
this Pro Bowl stuff, man. I was looking at the list of the
Pro Bowl games, Braylon. It's not the Pro Bowl anymore.
Well, I was looking at I made the Pro Bowl. I was looking at the roster, trying to share some names with you, man. Let's see what we got.
Who's
on
there?
Here. 2007 Pro Bowl roster: Devin Hester, Bob Sanders, DeMarcus Ware, Jason Witten, Jared Allen, Steve Hutchinson, Tom Brady. He passed and Randy passed too. I think because that's how Derek got on.
They are still alive.
Sante Samuel. Let's see who we got. LaDainian, Patrick Willis, Jeff Saturday, T.O., Mike Vrabel, head coach now.
Anybody from the Jets or the Browns?
Let's see. We got Alan Faneca.
He was a Steeler and a Jet.
Weren't you on the team?
You got Braylon Edwards.
There
right
we
here.
go. All right.
Braylon Edwards. Antonio Cromartie. They had some players, man. It was a lot of fun too. That was a lot of fun. You only practice for 30 minutes.
Was that in Honolulu?
Yeah. It's Honolulu. The Honolulu Hilton's downtown. That's what people saying. There's like the Ihalani Hotel is where we stayed out like 45 minutes.
So how'd the NFL work it with the families? Did they pay?
What? Hell no.
They didn't pay for the families?
You pay for your own family, but you get money for going. I think I want to say it was like 10. It was like 20 grand.
Yeah.
20 grand or something like that, and I used that to pay for all the people that I had come, bought tickets. It was more than enough room with the Honolulu, whatever the stadium is called. It was space.
Aloha Stadium.
Aloha Stadium. It was raggedy.
It was. They had the.
It was raggedy
matter of
as
fact,
hell.
Hawaii used to play there.
Yeah.
They couldn't play there for 2 or 3 years.
Rainbow Warriors?
Yeah, they had to fix the stadium. It was like literally decrepit.
When I tell you my senior year at Gallagher, I played in the Silverdome. In 2007, I played in Aloha Stadium.
Yeah.
Silverdome was better.
I bet.
Well, the Silverdome was the best, man. Come on.
That carpet. I see why they had so many knee injuries and other type of injuries. Like it literally is this level of turf and then all cement. Cement. Ugh.
I'll tell you this, guys.
Mess some knees up on that.
You know, as the veteran here, the uncle, you want to
Caught
call
a pass
me.
from Peyton.
The Pro Bowl used to be obviously after the Super Bowl, and there were some games that were very fun, especially back in the 80s, in the 70s and 80s,
Oh,
where
yes.
they'd have their own uniform.
Right.
Like the NFC would wear the blue pants, the white
Right.
shirt, the blue helmet.
Yeah.
The AFC, the red, the white, and the red
That's
pants.
how it was my year. We were in white.
That's great.
Yeah.
You know, and then as it went on, you wore your own jerseys or you wore your own helmets and blah, blah, blah. And then no one did anything. And then it became a joke.
Yeah.
And now it's games. And Pete, we can put up the slides.
Sure, buddy.
Here's your Pro Bowl games, which start tonight. And you guys can zero in on all of
It
those.
starts tonight. Sounds
It starts
crazy.
tonight. So
I'll zoom
Eli
in.
Manning is the head coach of the NFC. Peyton Manning is the coach of the AFC. And it's a whole weekend kind of thing. And, well, there are the events in front of you. The skills show starts tonight on ESPN. So that's what they get. They don't get the Super Bowl. They get the
Linemen look to spike footballs onto a machine that measures power and impact.
That
Because
sounds like somebody's
linemen
gonna get
touch the
injured.
ball.
Like that. That sounds like somebody could get injured. Now you spiking the ball down?
Can we just bring back the beach volleyball?
Why not?
No, because that's
the only way.
Because what was the running
New
back?
England.
Kevin Robert, yeah, tore his ACL in the sand.
Yep.
He was a player too.
Yeah, he was. He
The
never
only,
was the same after
only
that.
thing that has any interest in here is the QB accuracy thing. That's always been kind of fun for me.
It's funny. You know, it just popped up on my timeline. Was remember when they throw for distance, the quarterbacks?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like quarterbacks got exposed in that competition because you
Yes,
got some
they
guys
did.
that can throw far, but they have no accuracy. And you got guys like Peyton. Peyton threw 63 yards. Like it was. I'm like, I throw further than that, but Peyton's efficient. Peyton knows how to work off. I think Aaron Brooks won with a 73-yard toss. Remember Aaron Brooks?
Lazy.
Hey, check these out. I like the tug of war's fun. And then there's a game of flag football.
Yeah.
3 games, 7-on-7, 12-minute quarters.
Cool with flag.
You know what? Let me tell you something. Flag football is probably as dangerous as putting on the pads.
Absolutely.
Am I wrong? Two-hand
It's a
touch,
fast
flag
sport.
football. These guys, they don't want guys going around them.
Yeah, if you're playing like you did when you were in 7th grade, yeah, but these guys making too much money. Like with the exception of who hit Tariq? Somebody hit Tariq last year and they shouldn't have. He got
At the goal line.
Yes, at the goal line.
Yeah.
Somebody hit Tariq.
Flipped
And it
him.
was a wide receiver.
Flipped them.
Like, you know, when you're operating in that space, that's too much.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm making what Tariq is making, 30 mil, I'm out there, oh, nope, I'm down. I'm down. The competitive nature gets to going, but also does that $30 million that you know is in the bank.
You know the Pro Bowl
gotta
is
be.
whack when they got dodgeball. Like, what does dodgeball got to do with football?
Dodgeball's fun.
Yeah, but why are we playing it in
I
an
know, it's
NFL
just-
showcase?
You know what? It's in Orlando.
It's so
You know
whack.
what? One of our chatters is going there. Jason Evans
Shout out.
is going to Orlando, taking his sons. So
Ask him, Jason, what are you most excited to see? for
And
the
give
Pro
us the
Bowl?
prices that you
Yeah.
paid, Jason. I saw that you said the tickets were okay, but then the prices after the ticket, all the fees, made it even worse. So I want to know what the deal is, how much to get in, all of that kind of jazz.
KG, I got one for you because this is up your alley. They got the Madden 2 versus 2.
Nice.
Is it though? Have you ever tried playing Madden with a guy on your team?
Yeah.
No, but I.
It's
I
not
like
right.
the
It's
idea.
not
I want
always
one-on-one.
fluid. It's not always fluid, but are they really playing Madden?
Yeah,
That is
2
so
on 2.
cool.
Like,
That is
what
so
are we
cool.
doing here? Like,
Hey, 2-on-2, like at the end of the day, like maybe I'll be a quarterback, and then on defense, let me
receiver.
play linebacker.
oh, linebacker?
Yeah, let me play linebacker. Like, I love being in the middle field on defense, like on Madden. Although I don't play anymore,
Yeah.
but when I was dialed in like that, give me the linebacker, give me the quarterback.
They
So
doing
in
esports
2
for the Pro
weeks, we're going to be having this same conversation about the dunk contest.
Yeah.
And maybe
That's what I
maybe
was saying.
Threesley in the 3 contest as
Used
well.
to be really good.
It used to
Like
be.
the
That
person-
All-Star Saturday night, I used to love All-Star Saturday night. And they've made it into it's a mockery of what it used to
Matt,
be.
you and I are the same. You know why you used to love All-Star Saturday night? Outside of just sport, it's our birthday.
Yeah.
Like, your birthday and my birthday always fall. Mine's fell right before All-Star. Yours was either right during.
Aquarius.
And I've been to the All-Star game. You know,
I've been to 4.
I've been to a couple, and you know, I had a good weekend. It was a fun time. But man,
They got the shooting in Vegas. I was like,
they
that's
took
my
away
last
the,
one.
the dunk contest.
Simple fix, guys.
The dunk contest
There's
is on All-Star
so
game
much
day.
money out there right now,
If it
right?
was a simple fix, it would have been fixed.
$5 million sponsor for an event that everyone will watch. I got a chance to see a photo. I'd love to bring it up, but it's that first dunk contest, man. Worst guy out there is Daryl Griffin, who could dunk. But you got Larry Nance. You got
There was 12
Orlando
people.
Woolridge.
There was 12 people back
Those
then.
are the guys that are the worst out there. You look at the rest of the guys there, a young Neek, a young MJ, Dr. J,
Star power.
all
Kenny
the people
Skywalker.
there. Yeah. But I mean, I'm just talking in the 80s, like when everybody wanted a piece of this thing.
Yeah.
Then in the 90s, and as it went on, you'd get like 1 year out of LeBron, maybe 1 year out of Kobe, maybe. I don't even know if LeBron
never did it.
And that's a crime.
Yeah.
That's an
Kobe did it
absolute
once.
crime.
Hey, Anson, here you go, buddy.
Everybody did it.
There it is.
Yeah. Kobe did it once as a
Everybody
rookie,
did it except LeBron.
Yeah.
Like LeBron, he
Michael
didn't do
Cooper?
it.
Just add it onto my list. Add it on to my why I don't like or I'll never like him. Just add it on.
The issue is today they make so much money, $5 million is enough. Like it's not going to get the people that you want in it to do it for $5 million. They're turning down those types of deals in the offseason.
One night for a 6 of your full season contract? I mean, okay, let's talk about a $40 million player still. 1/8 of your contract for one night?
Then it becomes about pride. I'm essentially going to risk injury for $5 million and losing.
How many guys have we seen injured in a dunk contest?
But that's the excuse. I'm being in the contest.
Fair.
Now I'm hurt. Now I can't play or I lose. That's also what it probably really is about. Now I'm going to get in this dunk contest. Okay. Now they think that because I'm in the NBA and I can jump out the gym that I'm creative. They think I can do these things. Now I get in here and I look terrible. Now I get in here and I look like Jerry Stackhouse. Now I'm embarrassed. I think that's a lot of it too. These guys, that egos, they fracture easy.
Yes, they sure do, especially in 2025.
Who's the little guy that won the last 2
Who
times?
won last year?
Max McClung.
No, he didn't win last year. You know who won last year with that BS was Jaylen Brown.
Oh, yeah.
that's right.
Jaylen Brown won last year with the worst dunk contest I've ever seen.
It was pretty bad.
Like Jaylen Brown won last year.
In the
Who
last
was my guy from the Magic?
Max McClung.
No, who was my guy from the Magic?
Oh, Aaron Gordon.
Oh, he was good.
Oh, that was one of
and
the
he
better
got robbed.
Yeah, that was the second best one I've ever
Remember,
seen.
he got robbed, and then he said, "I'm doing it again."
Max McClung has won the last 2 dunk contests.
That's what I
He's
thought.
going for 3 straight.
No, Jaylen Brown did win one.
I'm just looking at
He did
that was a
something.
while back, but I'm looking at it right here.
No, Jaylen
McClung
Brown did
returns to
last
go
year.
for 3rd straight dunk contest win.
In
I
that
read
case,
that last
in
night.
that
That's
case,
why I
he
had to
beat
look it up.
Jaylen Brown.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Jaylen Brown was in the finals last year.
Yeah. What league is Max McClung in? Is he in the NBA?
Hell no.
Exactly. What are you doing?
Yeah.
I mean, if we're going to do this, let's open it up to some and one guys and some high school guys and just, let everybody. Anybody. I'm sure there's some dude in Nairobi that
Actually,
can yoke.
I don't want to see them. I want to see the guys I root for.
I'm being sarcastic, Maz.
I'm just saying. Where are these guys? They're a bunch of cowards.
The street
$10 million
guys,
pot. Okay? People are tuning in and players are showing out, right?
10 mil, you get the attention of the fan base and
exactly.
superstar.
And that money is there, man.
1,000%.
That money is there.
Just look at Crypto Arena alone. Not Crypto, but where the Clippers play.
And the street ball people and the people that dunk, for a living that don't play in the NBA, they are the more creative people. We've lost creativity over the years, too, to where, we're seeing the same stuff.
You know why? Because they're shooting the 3, KG.
Yeah, well, the 3-point contest is more exciting than the dunk contest.
Also, too, it's other ways you could pull money, man. You can make this a part of what owners owe per year. You got 30 teams.
Yeah.
30 teams, you can't find $5 million?
Oh, easy.
Like,
how about Sprite?
It's
Sprite's
a payroll
got
to duck.
Sprite's got money. Just up the prize money.
Is it Sprite?
I don't think it's Sprite anymore.
What's it called now?
Yeah, Starry.
Oh, my goodness.
Grant Hill drinks Sprite. That's
Sprite's
all I
not
know.
called Sprite anymore?
No, it's not Sierra Mist either, man.
What? No, they still have Sprite.
Sierra Mist is Stars.
It's Stars. Sprite still exists.
They still have Sprite?
Yeah, I don't think Sprite is the sponsor.
Hold everything.
Sprite will always be there.
Time out. Sierra Mist is no more?
Right.
Yes.
It is now
Yes,
Starry.
Why?
Because they changed it.
They changed it.
Why?
So mad.
Because it's a marketing move.
Mad Maz.
There's no more Sierra Mist.
No, there's not.
The Sierra Mist.
It's still the same formula. It's just
I
called
don't
Starry.
care.
It doesn't taste, it's not the same formula. It doesn't taste anything like
Like
the
the
old Sierra
Starry?
Mist. The
The
Sierra
old man that
Mist
kicked in.
that they had in the spout at Wendy's at the Michigan Union when I went to school, the best Sierra Mist there was.
Nice.
Yeah.
It used to be Sierra Mist and Fruit Works
Nice.
in the Union. Oh my God. Ooh.
Yeah.
Unlock the memory right there. My apologies.
Sierra Mist.
Bring
Where have you
Fruitopia
gone?
That was some powerful stuff, though.
Yeah, no.
It burn your side, burn your chest.
Good pop out of the gun, baby.
Jesus Christ. Sierra Mist and then the McDonald's Sprite.
Yes.
Yeah, the McDonald's Sprite.
McDonald's Coke.
The Fruitopia.
about the
I
High
used to mix
C?
that in the
Ooh,
Fruitopia.
Fruitopia.
How about
big.
McDonald's High C?
Yep.
No, you
Classic.
guys
I
listen
love
to
that.
the
Can't
best
go
one.
wrong. Like
The
that.
best one is Dr. Pepper from Wendy's.
From the
The
that's a
Dr.
good
Pepper
one, too.
Wendy's is spectacular.
You are not wrong there,
Dr.
my
Pepper.
friend.
Okay.
Or the Baja Blast from Taco Bell. I'm
There
a
you
Baja
go.
Blast guy.
Dr. Pepper. Oh,
Who's
Dr.
still-
Pepper or Cherry Coke?
Who still
Dr.
got
Pepper,
Barks?
I've always
Arby's
repeat.
has Barks.
Bark root beer?
Barks. You know, it's the only
Yeah.
root beer that has caffeine.
A&W or
No
Barb's.
root beer has caffeine
Wow.
except for
agree.
Barb's.
That don't make
I didn't
sense.
know that.
That don't
Silver
make
can.
sense.
Knowing's half the battle.
This is true.
I still can't get over Sierra Mist.
This is,
It's a slow day.
When did this happen?
It is a slow
Listen,
day.
chat,
It's
if
over,
you guys
man.
have any unopened Sierra Mist, we will send you the address. I will send you a Braylon Edwards signed card. We got
hold
to
on.
take care of
If
Matt
it's
here.
for me, then send me a Mellow Yellow.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, is that gone too?
Yeah.
No, it's still around.
It's still around. I just haven't seen one in forever.
Yeah, no, they still around.
How about the grapefruit drink? That was one of my favorite drinks.
Which ones?
I
Grape
drink
drink?
Squirt all the time.
60-40 or squirt?
No, listen. Hey,
Crazy over there.
I like Fresca still. Fresca from the 60s.
Tom, I'm going to bring you some Squirt tomorrow. I
But
got plenty
listen,
of Squirt at home.
Squirt, Mountain Dew, any of the foggy, clear stuff,
Yes.
orange, brominated vegetable oil, same stuff they put in fire extinguishers.
Yes.
So,
It don't
if
matter.
you're going to get anything,
It is good.
you go for the Jarritos grapefruit,
don't
the
matter.
Mexican pop with real sugar.
Or
Oh.
if you know the Faygo Arctic Sun, if you know, you know.
No, 60-40.
Yeah.
60-40 is Squirt.
60-40 is all right, but I like Arctic Sun better.
Don't they sell Jarritos at
Arctic
Chipotle?
Sun.
Yeah, Arctic Sun, the blue bottle.
Jarritos?
Yeah, Jarritos.
I believe so.
Man, if you
Chipotle,
never
yeah.
had one, I'm gonna bring you one.
Every time I get one of those, I'm
It's
always
good.
left with this feeling. Did I like it or didn't I?
Arctic Sun,
See,
baby.
I'm
No,
always
Arctic
up in
Sun
El
is nice.
Pueblo Mexican market getting my Jarritos and my tacos and my torta de pollo.
I do
I
like
love
Jarritos.
that.
Playa says, Maz, it's been like 8 years.
Yeah, Sierra Mist been gone.
It hasn't been 8, but it's been long
been
enough.
around there.
It's
Hey.
been like 3.
I know
Yeah, a little longer than that.
JB's got some saved for me, I think.
It was not before COVID.
I think it was like right before COVID.
That's
I think
like
it was.
4 years.
was
Mass, you do know that they don't make Zima anymore, right?
Zima's gone?
Zima is gone, just so
Wow.
you know.
Yeah, no more
Don't
Zima.
bring that. Don't bring it back.
My buddy had a Zima Gold in his fridge for like 10 years, and somebody drank it on one drunken party night, and that dude is still ill about it 14 years later. He's still pissed.
I remember
Shout
being
out Jason Polly.
I remember being a kid and just watching like people like drink Zima and thinking like, what are you doing? Like, it's not a real alcoholic beverage.
Yeah.
It's the corniest stuff. And they made it look so cool in the commercials. Drink Zima. And it was, I get out of here.
Yeah,
That was
and now
corny
what is the drink du jour for everybody?
for Tito's?
No.
Long drink.
In
Don't
the
hate on
can.
Tito's. Long drink.
Well, that
Long
one
drink.
should be, but no, I'm talking about the foo-foo one.
What's the name? White Claw.
That's right. Same thing, man, just with a little more flavor.
And
White
Kenny and
Claws,
I
like,
were just
whenever
talking about
White
Boone's
Claws
Farm.
Only time I
certain
drink White Claws
sector
is
of
on the
women.
golf course.
Anytime that guy gets a chance for Mad Dog 2020 or Boone's Farm, you
MD
know
2020?
Pete's dropping
No, we
it.
were just talking. Kenny and I just happened to be
You
talking
drink
about
MD
Boone's
2020
Farm earlier
at
today,
Boone?
man.
Oh my God.
Oh, some Boone's Farm back in the day.
Like
Shout out
MD
Craig
2020 is bound to give you a hangover.
Oh, MD will kill you,
Like
baby.
it's so much sugar in
Pure
it.
sugar, bro.
MD Dog 2020.
I drank
will kill
one
you.
in like I think I was playing in Cleveland at the time, and I was like, it was the summer, it was off season. I was like, man, you know, I never drank an MD 2020. Like, I would just, I said, today is the day. Today is the day I'm gonna have myself
was the
MD
last
2020 and take myself back to the 80s and 90s. I was pissed.
It was a mistake.
I was at the house just chilling. Yeah, it's a horrible drink. Horrible drink. Let's take a quick commercial break. Let's
You
pay
got
some
it, buddy.
bills. Let's get
Go
back
for
on
Sierra
track,
Mist. That's
and then we'll get back to our show
Boy,
because
it is a slow day. That's how you do it.
Sierra Mist. We'll get into the offseason for the Detroit Lions and where is your focal point going to be as it relates to position. We'll get into that. First, Pete, tell us about the merch.
You got it, my friends. Well, you can head to shop.woodwardsports.com. We don't sell any Starry, but we do sell a lot of the great Detroit sports
I heard
merch.
Costco's going back to Coke, by the way.
Bring
They got a
back,
Pepsi from there today,
Bring
but
back
I heard they're
Mr.
going back to Coke.
Bring back the Coke, baby.
bring back Mr. Pibb.
Get
What
your
happened to Mr.
Tigers,
Pibb?
your Red Wings gear. Check out those new pullovers we got right there, guys. You see the picture? Head to shop.woodwardsports.com right now. Get yourself one of these new pullovers. We still have your Pistons gear, and we also still have the Lions gear because we all love the Lions. Shop.woodwardsports.com right now. Great place to get a gift for someone that you care about. Also, you can fuel your sports fandom and become a subscriber of
Sabbath Coffee Roaster.
That's right. Head to SabbathCoffeeRoasters.com right now. Choose your favorite roast, just like Kenny G does. Use the code word Woodward, and you get 25% off your first subscription order. Awaken and wine, support local, and enjoy game day right with Sabbath Coffee Roasters. We'll be right back.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won.
David Tully, everybody. David Tully. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
The big game requires a big party. Woodward Sports live watch parties at Hayes Social. Come and watch the big game with the crew on 3 17-foot TV screens, baby. Book your table today before they are gone. 586-247-2223. And you can get some great food over there at Hayes Social, drink specials, and the best big game party around Hayes Social, which is Hayes Road at 21 Mile in Shelby Township. Brought to you by 1800 Tequila, Sabbath Coffee Roasters, Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza, and New Holland Brewing Company. Maz?
I hate how the NFL makes us say the big game. Give me a
hear
break. Hey, NFL, get a load of yourself. All right? And dreaming of a new home but feeling a financial pinch? Mark White and Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team are going to pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. Really? That's a lot of money, guys. $5,000 right off the top. You go out and go on a vacation with that $5,000. Give them a call today. 248-290-8242. You can go to the All-Star game with KG for $5,000. Hit them up online as well. MarkWhiteSells.com. Again, that number, Mark White and Associates, 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
All right, welcome back.
They'll also get you a Sierra Mist.
It's still on. Welcome back to this almost the second hour of the show. Man, you got a lot of good topics as it relates to the NFL.
Lots
Can't
of
wait
good
to dive
stuff.
into some of these. Did you see the press conference with Brian Schottenheimer?
I did.
Jerry Jones is
Listen, man, look, I want to say something.
He's a nut.
Let's leave Brian Schottenheimer alone. All right, let's give him a chance. He's been an OC for a long time.
It's not
At one point, he was a hot name for a head coach. What the Dallas Cowboys did probably is not going to work. If you're getting rid of Mike McCarthy, you probably should change completely. Or you probably should have kept Mike McCarthy.
Mm-hmm.
But Schottenheimer gets a shot, man. He gets his shot. His dad was a great coach. Who knows? Under all of that, under all those losses for the Jets those years, Bray, there might be a good game plan in Brian Schottenheimer's upcoming career.
You know what? At the end of the day,
break.
what do you mean give him a break? At the end of the day, he has his shot. Like, and Jerry Jones came to the podium and said, this is a risk. Then why the hell would you hire him?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Dak is the reason.
You heard what
he vocally went out there and said, "I'm tied to this guy. Keep him here for the rest of my contract." Whether that's going to be 4 more years or 1 more year for Dak, we'll see.
You heard what Cam Newton said about it. He said that Schottenheimer is going to be a one-and-done coach, and the master plan is to get Nick Saban to coach the Cowboys.
Ooh,
right.
Interesting.
All right, Cam.
Well, what's more interesting than the Dallas woes is the Lions off season. A lot of injuries this year. Acting like everybody be healthy going into this season, going into this off season. Anson, what is the position that you want most to focus on? Brad Holmes. You want Brad Holmes to focus on the most. What's the position for you?
In free agency or the draft or overall?
Off season. That includes everything.
Front 4 on the defensive side of the ball. Period. We need interior guys. I don't think Anzarike will be re-signed. Aleem is coming off an injury that he probably won't be ready to go week 1. You've got an aging Z on the end. You don't have great depth behind anybody. And as much as we expect Hutchinson to be back full force, he just literally snapped his leg in half. So where we're picking at the end of the first round, there is some tremendous interior defensive line talent. In terms of free agency, I don't see quite as much, and we've also seen that this regime's not ready to break the bank for somebody they don't know inside their culture already. So I would imagine that free agency, you see a little more offensive line work, and I think when it comes down to the draft, you're going to see more focus on that front 4. But the front 4, obviously, as much as we were excited about them in the beginning of the year, is the Achilles heel of this team. It's what put the secondary, put such an onus on the secondary to perform that they did. And then once you saw guys get checked off with injuries in the secondary, the whole defense fell apart.
What say you, Peace by Vet?
I was doing something, so ignore me. Sorry. No, I was doing some work. Sorry. Yep.
I'll put them in order for you. I'm going to go with the defensive line, obviously. Everyone's going to say that. I'm going to say you still have to upgrade your linebackers. And, Anzalone's not getting any younger. Jack Campbell, second year last year, had a pretty good year. But, again, he's not that prototypical linebacker. He's more of an old-school linebacker. I think they got to upgrade there. I mean, to get a guy like Jared Verse that could play anywhere would have been a fantastic add to this team. But they went other directions. And then, finally, I would say you maybe get another offensive lineman or 2. I do believe the secondary is going to be in good hands. I believe Terry and Arnold, I thought he had a pretty good season. I think I see that dog in him. I believe he's going to be fantastic, Agent Zero. Enos Rakestraw, we didn't see him. I think you signed Carlton Davis. You bring him back. He's the big guy back there. Kirby Joseph is amazing. Of course, Brian Branch. They're really loaded, man. They're really loaded. But get some help on that D-line, linebackers, and then get a little more depth on that O-line. I know they have Christian Mahogany coming up. Giovanni Manu, hopefully he's going to be good in a year or 2. And you go from there. You got guys to replace. I mean, you got guys that are aging out and getting hurt. So that's my big 3.
Hey, Maz, what's the number 1 focus? Maz, let me tell you about the Detroit Lions next year.
Break down every room, baby.
I like it, though. Look,
I'm
Maz,
still hurting, man.
He's very insightful. He's down.
Still hurting.
KG, I give you a crack at it.
And I agree with a lot of what Maz said.
He said everything, didn't he?
Yeah, right.
We saved
much.
some show.
Yeah, but
Sorry,
my
guys.
top priority would be edge because you can never have too many pass rushers. And considering what happened with Marcus Davenport, I know you do have Zadarius Smith, but I'm worried about what's the next tier after that. So you want to have a good backup behind Hutch. Josh Pascal has been good, but maybe you could upgrade there or whoever is behind Zadarius Smith. So I think edge rusher should be the top priority.
I mean, you guys are all spot on in terms of what you say. The way I look at it is this. You need to focus on the D-line, the O-line just underneath.
Yeah.
The O-line is just underneath. For all that you make of the D-line, yes, they got to make sure that interior is tight, and you got to make sure what are you going to do on the outside. Is it Big Z? Is it Marcus Davenport? Is it a mixture? Is it somebody else? You got to ensure that, because if you ensure that, man, as I agree, the linebackers could use a bump.
Yeah.
But if your defensive line is intact with the secondary that you have, it makes the linebackers a lot better.
Yeah.
So I think you could focus on that at some point, but it's not the dire need. Yeah. The need is the D-line, but the offensive line, it's not too far behind, because Frank Ragnow, we say it every year, he's getting up there in age, and it's not just the age, it's the injuries, it's the things that he's played with. What's going to happen with Kevin Zeitler? Now, what are we looking at the right guard position? Taylor Decker. Last year was the first year that I truly saw that people were taking advantage of Taylor Decker when he was at his current 100%, whatever level that is. You know, it's like an iPhone. Like, even though it's not 100%, your 100% is now 88, is it 82, is it 70? And I think his 100% now is floating somewhere around 81 at the beginning of the season. So what are you going to do there? Offensive line is what's gotten the Lions this far. They got to make sure that it stays this far. So I'd say D-line, O-line just up underneath, and then to Maz's point, get yourself a linebacker.
You like Jack Sawyer, guys?
As
what do you think of Jack Campbell?
No, and this isn't.
Don't pretend he's not at Ohio State.
He's soft. Like, he was soft. Like, in the success in the plays that he had, I didn't see an old school Ohio State linebacker that can go out there hard nosed,
really,
like legitimately one-on-one, meet you in the hole, meet the running back, meet the guard, whatever he needs to do to get the tackle. I saw a guy that benefited. He kind of was in the back to make some plays, some scooping scores, and once they had, like, I didn't really see a guy. And this is being like, there's a ton of great players that come out of Ohio State. Like, I play with Nick Mango. Like, I don't like them, but I can respect when I respect. I just don't see that out of him.
The greatest of them all is in our front office, Chris Spielman.
100%.
I thought Jack gave me a little look at Chris Spielman, but again, I'm not.
Ohio State, like the way that program is, the current Ohio State program, not when Taylor Decker in before. It's the me. It's the money. That's how they get their ass whooped against Michigan, because they're not soft. They're finesse. That's not what the Lions are. Like, they're not the me guy team. They're not the finesse team. You come here, you're going to have to be physical. You come here, you're going to have to buy into what the team says. So that's why I would be out on Jack.
I mean, to me, there's Josie Jewells and Cody Bartons and Alex Singletons. There are types like this that are available in free agency every single year. And if there's one position that I feel like the Lions can go out and find cheap and plug them in, a la Alex Anzalone, and be successful, I think that's a linebacking core. I don't see us spending a first-round pick on one. Maybe they find somebody in free agency, but I don't see them breaking the bank. Our front four and our front five, they either aren't getting it done because of injury or whatever, or they're aging and they're injured as well, as you were just talking about with our offensive line. Comes down to Zeitler. Once that card falls, if we know that we're bringing him back, then that will dictate the way that they chase free agents as well as how they draft. But to me, this is a team that they've showcased their offense for 2.5 seasons now. This is one of the best, maybe ever. It's time to address the defensive side of the ball.
Definitely in the regular season, I agree with you on that. Flip to the other side, defensive line. Yesterday it came out that DJ Reader maybe not be coming back, or that was a would you not re-sign him, or whatever the deal was. X him, nix him, cut him, let him walk away, dead cap space. Where are you with DJ Reader, how he played this year alongside a healthy Aleem McNeil whenever that happened? Where are you with those two as the Lions defensive line?
I think they're both musts.
Okay.
They're musts.
I like that.
They're guys that need to come back. You know, DJ as a veteran, it's a great presence.
Well, Aleem got paid. I meant DJ, like DJ.
Yeah, but with Aleem there, you know, DJ's going to help him. Otherwise, you've got to find somebody new. You've got to bring him into the culture. You've got to figure it out. Now, you do have a new defensive coordinator, so it might be a little bit easier than it might have been with a same coach returning. But for me, he's absolute. You got to bring him back. You've got to just check that box so you're not looking. You're not looking to draft it. You're not looking to sign it. And if you do draft it, you're just creating more and more depth, because even if you do bring him back this year, he's probably not back next year.
Yeah, you talking about DJ Reader, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, so no, he absolutely needs to be here. And I understand, like, the stats don't necessarily tell the story of what he's done. But when you look at the start that Aiden Hutchinson had to this season, I think DJ Reader had a lot to do with that. When you look at guys like, you know, Pat O'Connor and Al-Qaeda Muhammad, I think they were able to get free at times because of what DJ Reader was able to do in the middle. And I understand he's not the pass rushing defensive tackle that we want. I think that's more Aleem McNeil. But even look at the season Aleem had before he got hurt. A lot of that was DJ Reader as well. So I think
Reader's a run stopper.
Yeah, he is, and he's great in the run game. So I think a lot of what he does, he takes up two bodies going against an offensive line, and he opens up things for everybody else. So I think you absolutely have to keep him. He's only on a 2-year deal, right?
And I know everybody in Detroit wants an edge rusher, but if you know this incoming draft class where we're picking at the end of the first round, the edge rushers aren't exciting. The defensive interior guys are very, very exciting. So to your point, they can draft a guy, not ask him to be playing every snap. Maybe he's more of a pass rushing middle guy.
Yeah. And
then you bring in DJ Reader and you keep these guys fresh. That's what the Lions have not had. The fact that you have to lean on the Connors and the Prophets like that, the fact that you have to lean on those guys just exposes your lack of depth that we're all exposed to through injury this season for the Lions. If they can create that organizational depth on the front line, this defense can start catching up with the offense finally.
Yeah, 2 years ago, that interior defensive line draft class was okay, wasn't it? 2 years ago it was. Just looking at that.
Yeah, you think?
You know I got to find a way.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Isn't he playing in the Super Bowl?
You know I got to find a way. Look, as it relates to DJ Reader, the only pushback that I have when people say that he's a run stopper, this is our guy, he stops the gap. When you're playing for the Detroit Lions last season and the Lions are scoring 55, 42 consistently, and they're consistently ahead, which means the other teams are now what?
They're
passing the ball. It sometimes can skew the numbers. Not saying or take anything away, just be mindful of that.
Yeah.
Maz, this year coming up, you got three guys that are due. We know who got paid last year.
Yep.
We know who the big three were last year. This year, the big three are Aiden, J-Mo, and Kirby. I start with you. If you can only have two.
Yeah. It's easy.
Oh, I know you're picking J-Mo.
Let's
You
go.
know it's easy.
Let's go.
You know I'm picking Aiden Hutchinson.
You know it's funny. Everybody assumes the Lions' last 4 years, you'll be able just to re-sign everybody, give everybody extensions, and keep them here. Oh, yeah, they play. It doesn't work like that.
No, I don't.
You're going, and I know it's new, you're going to have to make tough decisions. Just like, is it Calvin, Stafford, Sue?
Yep,
Who's not getting
2014.
paid? That's where we are now. It's just three players.
Yep. I'm keeping Aiden and I'm keeping Kirby. J-Mo's not getting an extra penny from me until he proves one season that he can stay out of trouble and not be dumb. And that'll be the words I'll use. That'll be the words that I use. Kirby Joseph is a must, absolute must. He's going to be an All-Pro next year. He was already this year, just didn't make the Pro Bowl. And, of course, Aiden Hutchinson. He's their guy. Yeah. The defense is going to ride through him. Those are my two guys. And J-Mo's got to earn it. I know he's the big, deep threat, and he's very talented, but he's got to show me he means business.
Pete?
Tell you what, you got a good question there, Bray. I really appreciate that question because you're talking about three very highly skilled players at very highly skilled positions. And if you want to go with, it's easy to say you can just take J-Mo out of the equation, but we have to remember what Brian Baldinger taught us about Jameson Williams. The guy helps spread the middle of the field open. He helps create opportunities for other players, and that's so important when you're trying to build an offense, is the opportunity for not just yourself, but for the other players as well. And I think that the offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson, showed how valuable it is to have Jameson Williams running these routes, having Sam Laporta get open. Look at Sam Laporta's frickin' stats the last 6 weeks of the season when he got healthy, but he got open because of how Brian Baldinger explained to us on the show that he's open because of what Jameson Williams does. So I know this sounds weird, guys. I would probably put Kirby Joseph on the outside looking in that scenario, and I would take Hutch and I would take J-Mo. What do you think, Bray?
Anson Wells.
How many points did the Redskins score? The Commies
42?
score? 45?
45. Yeah.
45 points
42.
in a playoff game?
Could have been 50.
In a playoff game?
Yeah.
And we're talking about keeping a guy so we can score more points because we need to stop teams, and that's what we have been unable to do. We've had to score because we can't stop teams. You don't give up a secondary guy with the hand skills of a Kirby Joseph.
Right.
Leading the league in interceptions. That's like 15 touchdowns, 20 touchdowns in my book. And then obviously Hutchinson's going nowhere, one of Detroit's favorite sons, Michigan alum, and truly one of the greatest young defenders in the league. To me, I hope J-Mo does a couple more stupid things next year and lowers his price. I'm serious. And I'm not saying like crazy stuff, but listen, if other teams are a little bit hesitant to sign him and his number comes down, maybe you keep all three. That being said, the assumption of your question that we have to lose one, speed can be found in the 3rd and 4th round. We've seen great wide receiver drafts. I know you love him, KG. I feel
It's not
you
even
over there.
that. It's not even that though. But go ahead.
Think about some of the guys. I mean, listen. You look at. I'm blanking on his name. What's the kid from Indiana that was with the Colts that was playing with Ewers at Texas?
Shoot.
I'll get it. Go on.
Yeah. Adonai Mitchell.
Adonai, yeah.
That's a guy that you can find in the 4th round that can do the same types of things that J-Mo does, and you get him on a 3 or 4. Bro, you watch. You'll see.
He runs 4.2.
He doesn't run 4.2, but he is around
and he can't do what J-Mo
does. He's a 4.4 guy.
All right. That first of all, those are 3 different complete individuals. Yeah,
4.2
is so much faster
But you
than 4.4.
can find guys in the 3rd and 4th round that can stretch a defense or be a true wide receiver 2. And the fact of the matter is, you can lose J-Mo from this offense, and your offense probably doesn't score a whole lot of less points. But if you lose Hutch, you see what happened to this defense. If you don't have Kirby, we're not the #1 seed. I mean, Kirby flat out himself won at least 3 games in the last 5 minutes. I can agree. Period. So as hard as it is for me to say that I would get rid of J-Mo, I just think to be able to find a speedy wide receiver that can open things up for you is easier to find in the 3rd, 4th round than it is to replace a guy that Kirby Joseph has been.
Not agreeing or disagreeing. I'm simply pointing out a fact. There have only been 3 wide receivers drafted in the last 15 years that ran 4.2. J-Mo's one of them.
Did he run?
I'm trying to tell you.
He didn't run at the combine. He was hurt.
When he ran his Alabama Pro Day, the year before he ran 4.2, clock electric, and this is the year before he got injured.
But that's what makes the second player so hard because pause. I mean, Hutch. What
are y'all playing?
Yeah, I know. Hutch. We already know. Hutch is not negotiable. Whoa, I hate y'all, man. I hate y'all. But I caught myself. So
okay, you did.
But Hutch is a non-negotiable. He's a blank check. Yeah. We already know that, especially if he comes back and he's, just what he was or maybe even better than what he was. He's a blank check. We already know that. Kirby is difficult because he's really played himself into probably getting another contract with this team. But when we look at somebody like J-Mo and Anson, I get what you're getting at. And yes, you could technically replace what J-Mo does, but J-Mo, and I'm a broker in record saying this, he has the NFL's most coveted skill, and it is speed. And we're not just talking regular speed. Like you said, 4.2. He is literally one of the fastest people, if not the fastest player in the NFL.
And he blocks.
Maybe not behind Jameer.
And he blocks.
And he blocks. He does everything. He's a team guy. Like, for everything we say about J-Mo, he's never been questioned about being a team guy. He's always been a team guy. He does what the team asks him to do, and he goes out there and makes plays. And I think behind the year that he's had this year, he's definitely more in consideration now to have a contract than maybe previous because we had to see it first. But now that he's in that 1,000-yard club, I think he has the potential to be a top 10 receiver.
KG, he's got a 5th-year option. And I'm saying you don't jump to pay him. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't want to let him go. I love the kid. I just think he has a lot of growing to do still. He's on his way. You heard Dan Campbell at the end of the year. I love Jamison Williams, he said. I love that kid. He's not going anywhere. I'm just saying, J-Mo, next season, just be better. That's all.
Yeah, J-Mo can turn a game at the drop of a dime.
So then if that's the case, then we really don't have a 1, 2, 3 because that's the idea. I'm going to operate from the space of there has to be a 1, 2 next year. I'll operate from that space.
And I'll pick Hutch and J-Mo for the argument.
100%. Look, I love all 3 players. We know who number 1 is. Everybody has said it. You got the nail on the head. He was almost the number 1 overall player taken. That's Aiden. It gets dicier too, because for everything you said, you talk about the speed. Maz, you started it off. You look at what Pete and Maz, look what he does in the offensive game in terms of what Ben Johnson was allowed to do when you blow the top off the coverage. Right. Now you got Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's one of the best wide open, dead open. Sam Laporta, like the things he did for that, even when he's in the running game. The rushing yards that he has, like he is a weapon of so many proportions because you have to put so much focus on him as a defensive coordinator. And also, this is the thing that you didn't say, even though you said speed, Any given play can be the play.
Home
That's
run.
correct.
Any given play can be the play to change that game, turn the tide, or whatever it is. Any given play. Amon-Ra, you can't say it. Nobody. It's not that many of those in the league.
Yeah.
Any play can be the play. Some of them, most of them speed. Some of them are just special. Christian McCaffrey, any play can be the play. Jameer Gibbs, any play could be the play. But any play for J-Mo could be the play.
Instant.
On the other side, Kirby had a hell of a year. He had a hell of a year. He did all that with the defense pretty much being injured the whole season. Not having the best players on the defense, the defensive line, the players that were out, the linebacker court, the players that were out, and he still had a year like that. You getting all your guys back, do you need that?
If the Lions...
Do you need him to have a season like that if you got Hutch coming off the end and Hutch is giving you 17 and a half, 18 sacks?
Yeah.
You have Davenport or whoever's coming off this side, DJ Reader in the lane.
Championship teams have a very positive plus-minus in the takeaway department. And who else on this team takes the ball away?
Brian Branch early in the season started. But all your players have been hurt all year.
But even when they weren't, and last year, name a player that took the ball away outside of those two.
You didn't have any.
And when you have the best safety tandem in the NFL, why are you breaking that up?
You're not.
So I got a question for you. If the Lions use a 4th or 5th rounder on a wide receiver, does that indicate what might happen with J-Mo going down the road?
No.
Not at all.
No.
I would think that would just be a Tim Patrick insurance.
There you go.
No one can do what J-Mo does.
Yeah.
So now that I've argued on both sides,
it really is tough.
He's a receiver. We know what he's going to say, KG.
We don't.
You know already.
I want to hear Kirby, but I have a feeling you're going to go. No, I don't. I'm just being.
You can
silly.
find ball hawks. I mean, Brian Branch is the best safety of the two, even though Kirby's had a great year. So if you plug any safety next to Brian Branch,
that's kind of what I was thinking, without being disrespectful.
Right. No disrespect at all.
I just think you lost your offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson, who created all this. I think you want to keep some sense of what it is. Like J-Mo, simply put, there's not too many people that can do what J-Mo does. I would keep J-Mo.
So I came in 2 years ago and told the before last season.
Luckily, you're going to get all three.
But I talked to the heavyweights. I was coming in on Thursdays, and I told them that we should have signed Jared Goff a year early for $40 million. How would that look right now? Would you like those $13 million? Yeah. So now with a little bit of question marks around his behavior, and the fact that they stuck with him, and that we've never doubted you, we want you to sign right now for $9 million. J-Mo.
$9 million?
Mm-hmm.
No.
$12 million. Because what's he going to get on the open market? 16?
Like just right now, he's a $20 million receiver.
Okay.
Just right now.
So what would you sign him right now to try and get a comfy team discount extension? Because if you wait another year and he doesn't have any discrepancies, doesn't have any issues, and he puts up 1,200,
I don't have a problem with this.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with this. Like right now, I would try to offer James. I try to offer him 24.
A year?
24 is what will be the most that I will go with him
per year.
Yes.
Because he's not making more than Amon-Ra. Amon-Ra's what, 28 a year?
No, he's 31.
He's 31. Yeah, 31.
He's 31 million.
If you wait another year and J-Mo has a great year, now he's in the 30 million club. So, and Jamar Jefferson is making that kind of money.
15, dude. Stick around.
You just ain't gonna. You're just not gonna be able to do that.
His agent gonna hang up the phone on you. You quit.
The problem is you have too many secondary wide receivers. Like playing at such a rate, it's showing you what you got to have. Like Devontae Smith is the second wide receiver on that team, and he's making 27 or 24. Like that's what you need. You look at T. Higgins. T. Higgins is about to get somewhere between 18 to 24.
It's the premier position.
It just is what it is. It's
So
premier position.
why is T. Higgins making less than J-Mo? Purely because of the speed?
He's older. You say why is he making less?
Isn't he just coming off his rookie deal? T. Higgins?
T. Higgins?
No.
Here we go, guys.
He's been
Here's
in
the Lions.
8 years.
He's been in the league a minute.
Let me zoom in on this for you. This is the Lions' salary as of right now from Spot Track.
Got to zoom in on that.
Trying my best here, guys.
No, you good. You good.
T. Higgins was a rookie in 2020, dog.
I'd roll the dice with J-Mo
Do you guys see it?
and wait a year.
You said T. Higgins is a rookie in
would.
2020?
If I have
He's
to
coming
only
off
keep
his rookie
two,
deal.
if I only have to keep two, I'm rolling the dice with Jameson Williams, and I'm gonna wait and I'm gonna see. If he gets 1,500 yards next year and 20 touchdowns, then I'll gladly pay. But I'm going to wait and see what he does in the offseason, make sure he stays a solid citizen, make sure he doesn't take dumb penalties, and go from there. I don't need any more 15-yard penalties that could have hurt you in games. They got lucky. They got lucky on a few of those plays that he did, that they won those games. And he could have cost them with costly, dumb, personal foul penalties.
Well, players do dumb things in year 2. That's just kind of what happened.
Well, year 1 and year 2.
And beyond. But let me ask you guys both
But
this
that's why
question.
I didn't say year 1, because if you're doing them in 2, you definitely did them in 1.
So you talked about the fact that Ben Johnson's gone. And you want to try and keep as much familiarity as you can with
Make it as
J-Mo.
easy and keep it easy.
But at the same point, now you're looking at what caused this team to lose, and that was the defense. Through injuries or not, they couldn't stop anyone. Is there an internal discussion in Allen Park right now that says we need to allocate more resources to our defense? Because realistically, they're first rounders for the most part, whether they're using a first rounder or adding another pick in to move up, they've all been 4 offensive players. And yes, we have the most exciting offense in the league, but we can't stop anybody. So I'm wondering, at this point, are you really trying to commit another $20 million to a wide receiver? Because, we can talk about the Bengals, we can talk about Philly, but until those tandem wide receivers win a championship, Philly is there on their defense and their run game right now.
Right. Yeah.
The Chiefs are there because of their defense and Mr. Mahomes. So for me right now, I think the Lions are really looking at what they are and what they have and what they need. And to me, the offense doesn't skip that much without a J-Mo. Defensively, they have a lot of holes to fill still.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I was assuming that they all were coming off this year. So the fact that J-Mo's not up to the following year kind of changes because, yes.
You got time.
That's the record. You got plenty of time. Who's the Mavs?
He's looking for Sierra Mist. I feel
like he is.
I'm reading the Justin Tucker statement. Wait till you hear about this story.
Yeah. Oh, bring it up. Go ahead.
Oh, you saw it somewhere else?
It's everywhere now.
It's now breaking.
Justin Tucker has been the kicker for the Ravens has been accused of inappropriate behavior by at least six massage therapists, and it's been happening for years, and it's only getting worse supposedly. I can't read his statement; it's long. I will get it to Pete, and we'll get it out there for you. But he's saying obviously I didn't do any of that.
He did the
Watson. But the way this is described, it doesn't sound great. So Deshaun Watson might have company, so that's all I gotta say.
Massage table's dangerous.
Yeah. He was relieving himself on massage.
Yeah, I don't know what to say to these guys.
Number 1 or number 2?
Easy. Come on now.
I have no idea.
That's why I just said it like I did.
No idea what to say to these guys.
Man.
How dumb can you be? That's all I gotta say.
He's a little Mother Tucker.
Yeah.
Here, let's pay some bills and come back, and you got more. Yeah, let's get this going and see what's going on with that. Is it Planet Fitness, where fitness is essential with over 50 metropolitan Detroit locations? Planet Fitness is a gym for you. It's a squeaky clean gym. It's a gym where there's no judgment, and also it's fitness that fits into your budget, so you don't have to worry. They're not trying to break the bank on you. Come down to Planet Fitness. It's fun. It's cool. It's a vibe. Pull up on us.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Head to woodwardsports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. Woodwardsports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at woodwardsports.com.
Soroki's were real fans' favorite. Now, signature wings are here, but only for a limited time. You got to get them. I'm telling you. I say it every day. You already know what flavor I'm going to say, so I don't have to say it. But all signature wings are fire. Honey biscuits. Let me get to that earlier. Sometimes I tend to forget the honey biscuits,
Thank
man.
you.
They are legit. Anson Wells, that was for you. You are
Appreciate
welcome.
you.
But also, too, man, if the signature wings are not your thing, then just get some of that crispy chicken because it never fails. And then they also have pizza. I feel like we talk about the pizza enough. Maybe we'll just have to get some pizza, bring it to the studio, and show you how good it is. Pull up on Soroki's because it's where the real fans' favorite.
Braylon, you know what's really, really good with Soroki's?
Some type of beverage, I would imagine.
Sierra Mist, actually. And you know, I did a little digging. We're going to hook Maz up.
How much we talking?
New, old
Okay, there
stock.
you go.
How much do you think for a six-pack of Sierra Mist on eBay right now?
$225.
How much?
A 6-pack in cans?
Yep, new old stock.
New
It's
old
ready to
stock,
go, baby.
huh?
Ready to pair with some
A
Soroki's.
6-pack, $10.
Up.
20.
Up.
Enough.
$45, baby.
Enough.
The current bid is $45.
I don't want it.
It's a novelty.
Trust me, I don't need it that
47?
bad. How much?
47, man.
$47?
No, I'm not paying $47 for a 6-pack.
Oh, wow, this is buying
Man,
now.
I do like the look of them,
drink
though.
one so they would lose the value.
Yeah, I do like the look of them.
Oh, dude, it's buy it now.
$45. You don't even have to bid.
Buy it
You don't
now.
even have to worry about somebody getting it in front of you, Maz.
Update, out of stock.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
so that price is probably
Out
way
of
up, huh?
stock.
What's the
Update.
shipping and handling on that? A good $10?
$8.47 on USPS Ground Advantage.
Like a six-pack didn't even
$55.
cost that much when those things were a six-pack. Now, that's just the shipping and handling. Mavs around the NFL, we shall go. Patrick Mahomes versus TB12. Who will be the best? I think I'm tired of talking about it already, but Dan Patrick and Edelman, what do you want to do?
Well, we can do that. Julian Edelman told the Dan Patrick Show. Dan asked him, what would it take for Patrick Mahomes to be the equal to Tom Brady? Now, here's what Justin Edelman said.
Julian,
him too. Never liked Julian Edelman.
One of those guys. K-State?
I hate him anyway. Here's Edelman on what Mahomes needs to do to beat Tom Brady.
What does Mahomes have to do to surpass Tom Brady, in your opinion?
He just got to do it for a long time. I mean, he's on pace. This is remarkable. If he goes out and does 3 in a row in a salary cap era, you can't say much. You know, I'm as big as a Tom Brady guy as there is. And what the only difference is the longevity. Tom had like 3 careers. He just so happened to only get two runs at those Super Bowl runs. Patrick's been doing that his whole career. But it'll be interesting for me to see the next chapter of Patrick Mahomes when some sort of adversity comes along. Some player, Travis retired. He's going to be playing way longer after Travis. Chris Jones, when he departures, he's going to be there by himself. Will he be able to retool and find guys to help him go out and win, which that's what Tom had to do, and it took him 10 years to do that to get to the next one. So, it's pretty crazy that if you really think about it, they've had a little bit of adversity with guys that may not be cornerstone players, but like the stuff that we went through to see Tom be able to compartmentalize. I mean, we had murders, we had back surgeries, we had gates, and he was still able to go out and win football games. So that's like the next step for me to see with Patrick Mahomes, this next part of his career when, he doesn't have the whole band together.
The gates were very important, of course. Deflate Gate, Bounty Gate. Not Bounty Gate, Spy Gate. There were a couple of the Robert Kraft Gate.
Hey, they cheated.
There's plenty of cheating going on in New England. But,
and we don't even say anything about it. They cheated multiple times.
So he said it. Tom Brady had 3 careers.
They talking asterisks?
Tom Brady had 3 careers.
You call it what you want to. They cheated too.
Patrick Mahomes is in his first career right now. Do you think Patrick Mahomes has the staying power of Tom Brady? And even if he doesn't, can't you still compare those two guys compared to what this guy has done?
I'll let you guys go first.
I thought that Edelman actually gave a surprisingly unbiased and honest answer. He has to do it for longer. Mm-hmm. He's clearly on the path to be as good or better if he can continue to win. And again, like he said, to be able to restock, because they're going to lose Kelsey soon. Yeah. And they spent a lot of money on their wide receivers, a lot of capital on them. We'll see if that works out. If they can continue to put a great defense on the other side of the ball for this kid, it's going to be there. Everything will be there for him to be considered the GOAT. Now, how many rings that takes, I don't know. It's obviously a much different NFL, the way that it's wired and geared towards passing. So I think that those numbers are a little bit skewed, but physically, he is a more talented human being. He is more gifted. But when it comes to being a leader and being able to have that staying power, we're only going to find out over time. But he's certainly on that pace.
Listen, when you talk about the GOATs, when you talk about the greatest of all time in any sport, what you're talking about is durability. What you're talking about is adversity. What you're talking about is durability and adversity. Look, at the end of the day, you've already passed all the quarterbacks that have ever played in the NFL, not named Joe Montana and Tom Brady.
Yeah.
And then with this win, you pass Joe Montana, and you become number 2. And what you have to do is you got to somehow, as this carries out, and there's no more Andy Reid, or there's Andy Reid, there's no more, like he said, Chris Jones or whatever. How do you then, when this is going to disappear, how do you get back to the mountaintop? I'll give you an example. All the ones we call the GOATs, they had to redo it. Steph, we really didn't give Steph credit until Steph come back and beat Jason Tatum. All the other ones, it's, they hadn't seen this before. Well, KD joined the team. When they won a championship that they shouldn't have won, then it was like, is Steph on the same pace as LeBron? Same thing with LeBron. When LeBron did it out there with Miami, he had to go there with D-Wade, and that doesn't really count for much. Well, you come back from 3-1 when you go back to Cleveland. Now let's start having the conversation about him and Jordan. Jordan did it in the NFL. Peyton Manning. Say what you want to about Peyton. Peyton Manning comes back, plays in Denver, loses the first Super Bowl, got carried to the second one, but it's the fact that he came back and put them in that moment twice. You have to have some adversity and stay at the top. So, I think he's right there. You can compare their careers if you want to. I think you can compare their greatness now. But in terms of him taking over, you got to somehow get back to that point. You got to go through the adversity, and we have to see you come out on the other side. Any greatness, it has a rocky point in there somewhere, and then you get back to it. That's just how I am.
Listen, Mahomes has Travis Kelce. Besides that, he don't really have any other weapons, as you want to call it. They're all gone.
Yeah.
They're all gone. So
this is the adversity to you?
Exactly. I think with everything that's gone on with this team, what he has to work with, he probably has less to work with than other teams do when it comes to guys that are really stars. And you heard Edelman say it. You got to do it. Tom did it with guys that aren't going to make the Hall of Fame.
Like Troy Brown.
Exactly.
But here's the difference. He's still operating in the era of their prime. Like Andy Reid is still cooking with grease. Patrick Mahomes is still young. Like, what happens when Patrick Mahomes in 5, 6, 7 years loses his speed?
That's what.
Well,
I'm
actually, in 2 years.
Yeah.
What happens when he's no longer able to break these runs? What happens when the arm strength is no longer there? What happens when the refs fall out of favor with the Kansas City Chiefs? Because they damn sure fell out of favor with the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
That's more so what they're talking about. He has gone through some things. He's been able to win 2 Super Bowls without Tyreek. We've seen that. But he's still young. The team's still young. You still got Chris Jones, who's the best defensive lineman in the game, not named Jalen Carter or interior guy. You still have 2 of the best offensive linemen in the league, and Tunney and Creed Humphrey. You still have Travis Kelce. So you still have a lot of your first Super Bowl. There's a lot of that still there. What happens when that's it? Travis is going to retire in a year or 2.
Yeah.
Now what are you? So
Braylon, I'm so glad you brought that up because that's what I worry about. What is he going to look like once the athleticism dissipates?
Yeah.
Because Tom Brady's game was never built around athleticism, which is why he was able to be dominant for so long at the top of the sport, damn near until he retired. So, and of course, Andy Reid being an older coach, he's not going to be there forever. How does it look when he has a new coach, under the helm? So, no, I totally agree with what Edelman said. Can you compare the two now? Sure you can, because nobody's been able to do what Patrick Mahomes has done in this modern era of the NFL. And like you said, he's only 2 people, and he's about to beat Montana at this point. So can you compare him? Yes, he's still not better than Brady, but it's the longevity, like Edelman said. I totally agree.
It's just like LeBron and Jordan. Look, I'm not trying to stir the pot in the conversation, but they've been comparing LeBron to Jordan since he's had 2 chips.
Yeah.
Like the conversation started then in Miami. And then so you can start a conversation where you see someone's trajectory. You see LeBron's trajectory. It's like, you can have a conversation whether you agree or not, whether it's respectful, and you can do it. I think it's similar with that. Like you can have the conversation, but I'll never change on Tom until I see the longevity and it changed a little bit.
I mean, this comparison is just great though, because those guys both won when they got there almost all the time. To your point, Maz, about this being the year of turmoil and changeover, I disagree. They spent their number 1 pick on the fastest guy ever. They got Marquise Hollywood Brown back. And their defense is the best defense that he's ever played with. So it's gonna be the second half of his career, not this first half, where we truly can measure him against Tom Brady or not.
Can I ask a question?
Please.
How do we measure the beginning of their careers? Because the age-old adage, the age-old adage with Tom Brady was, well, it wasn't Tom the first 10 years. It became Tom the 10th year, 11th year. Then it was Tom, the reason why they were winning Super Bowls. It's been Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. It's been Patrick Mahomes since day one. So does he get extra credit in this who's the best?
That's a good point.
Because he started off cooking with grease, and he is the reason the Kansas City Chiefs have won Super Bowl. It was different. So does he get credit for it being him in the beginning?
If he wins next week, he's had the better first half of his career
than
Tom Brady. We all know that.
He's had the best sporting career ever.
There's a caveat, though, in the fact that the NFL football was very different 20, 25 years ago.
It was,
versus the way that it's engineered now. So when you look at those statistics, his throwing statistics, even his running statistics, it's hard to compare the two because the games were vastly different. In fact, Pat Mahomes probably wouldn't have been as successful if he comes into the league in the beginning of the 2000s because the league is so different. And because teams and franchises hadn't embraced players, and it was kind of Lamar Jackson that made everybody start to embrace this. They watched the Ravens completely change their whole team for this guy, and then everybody else has been following suit and chasing the Hendon Hookers of the league around. So it all comes down to the complete body of work because Tom Brady's body of work is that complete.
Yeah, and speaking of that, I'm glad you brought up Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. Those guys are on the clock too. Because Lamar won't be running 4 forward in a year or two. Yeah, Josh Allen won't be able to sneak out for 30 yards like that in a year or two. You guys are on the clock. Anson, tell me a little bit about Lady Jane's.
Well, listen, it's really easy to get a haircut at Lady Jane's because they take the chore out of getting your haircut. They're talented hairstylists. They're going to deliver that industry-leading haircut along with the relaxing scalp massage, the hot lather neck treatment, the shave that is, and of course the hot towel afterwards. But they're open 7 days a week. You can walk anytime. You don't need an appointment to come in and get that amazing haircut. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it is wicked awesome.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, you know, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won.
David Tully, everybody. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Detroit has the best sports fans in the world. That's why they deserve the best sports coverage in the world. We are the Woodward Sports Network.
And I'm here to tell y'all about that good stuff, that good drink, that Tangerine Space Machine, the easy drinking IPA. Well, out of this world flavor, and we do mean that literally. It's the official beer of outer space. But grab yourself a can of this intergalactic hazy goodness that's brewed right here in the great state of Michigan. It's Tangerine Space Machine.
When you were talking about, I'm telling you about some of that good stuff. I thought you were talking about sweet potato pie.
Oh, man,
that's where my mind went to.
Ooh, sounds good.
Time miles away back with you. So.
Hey guys, Super Bowl 59 a week away, week and a couple days away. How about next year? Super Bowl 60 out on the coast in San Francisco. I want you to take a look at the logo. Tell me the colors of that logo. Does it have a little bit of a lion-esque look to it?
Is that Chicago on the right?
First of all, on the left, is that the Ambassador Bridge?
Santa Clara.
No, that's out in the Bay.
I know.
Oh, that is San Francisco on the right, right?
Yeah.
No, wait.
That's that church building.
It's in, okay.
Santa Clara.
Or is it the Gordie Howe
It was just
International
in
Bridge?
Levi's Stadium. Wasn't it in Levi's Stadium when the 49ers played the Chase?
Yeah, that's what it is.
You know they had a Super Bowl in 3 cities every year.
True, and then they love that stadium. That stadium opened in, say, like 15?
Yeah, right.
I want to say
Anyway,
so
people always talk about the colors of these events. Pete, put the one up for this year again.
Sure.
It's the
And you
Chiefs.
can look at the colors. It got a lot of red in it.
That changed. It's not what they came out with.
What's that?
That's not the logo they started the season with.
It's not?
They do that they did that the year before too. They
change
started
it
with one
throughout the
color
year?
and changed
Okay.
it, yeah.
Anyway, next year Super Bowl 60 looks very lion-esque. We'll keep with the Super Bowl here for a second. Actually, we won't. We're going to go to a team that wanted to be in the Super Bowl, the Buffalo Bills.
Who?
Their general manager, what is his name? Brandon Beane. He was on today, and someone asked him, of course, what about those calls that the Bills did not get? Here's what he said.
Yeah, it's frustrating. There's only so much I can say. I don't. We work with the league to try to get clarity, and I'll give them credit. They've taken our calls, they've sent video and things like that. I just, I wish, if you're talking about like the fourth down play, that was, I feel like he got that. I still feel like he got that. I felt that in the moment, and nothing has changed my mind on that, you know, and you know, the play that we challenged, I thought was a good challenge. I'm not sure either.
And you, if you did hear him, it was a low cut. He basically said he was not happy with the way the outcome. He said, especially, first of all, he said Josh Allen to him made the first down, and then of course the Xavier Worthy play he said was even bigger. He says you have to explain to me what a catch is then.
Yeah.
Because you see the ball clearly hitting against the ground. Did either player have possession of that ball when it hit the ground? The answer is probably no. But he did say, when it comes down to it, we didn't execute when we needed to. But that's a pissed off GM.
Yeah, I mean, the clip we saw, he gave the referee, he gave the NFL a lot of credit. He said the NFL has been returning their calls. They're listening. They're explaining things. They're having open dialogue. So he did give the NFL some credit. Look, Bing, get over it. Like, get over it. 2016, Michigan fans spent the better part of 5 years talking about JT Barrett was short. JT Barrett was short. Guess what? It didn't matter because that game's over. Nothing was ever changed. So your best bet being is to get over it and figure it out. But it's good that they are having – but what does that even mean, though? Hey, that's the only thing that always, as it relates to referees, sending plays in, having that conversation. Oh, yeah, so, you know, we sent this play in. It should have been this. What does it change? It doesn't change the outcome of the game. And really, the NFL listens in the long run. Yeah, they're talking to you now. It sounds good that they return your calls. I guarantee you things won't change. It's been this way forever.
Things will change, though.
We used to send a lot of plays in when I was with the Jets on the Patriots. Send a lot of plays in. They still allow the Patriots to act like
there will be a chip in the ball eventually. There will be.
There's two teams. There's two teams for the last 25 years that have over and over and over again gotten the benefit of the zebras. And we were just talking about both of them, you know? And so when it keeps happening to the same team, when you have a Chiefs team with 0 combined offensive holding calls in all of their Super Bowls in the Mahomes era, there is a problem, and it starts up with the administrative and executives with teams, and it goes all the way down to the fans, and it pisses you off, you know. So I don't blame them for still being hung up on it because it's not like they have any real wins in their franchise to hang their hat on. For me, I'd be pissed. You got to move on, like you said, Bray, but how much more of this can we take for the Kansas City Chiefs? Because I promise you, they're winning their 3rd straight, and it won't be because they necessarily won that game. Yeah. We're going to have the same conversation after next week's game. I promise you that.
Hold on real quick before we get out of here. Maz, we wanted to talk about it yesterday. Caitlin Clark refused the NBA's invitation to play in the three-point competition during NBA All-Star Weekend since she wants to play her first time in the WNBA three-point contest, which takes place in Indianapolis. Where are you with that? Like, you think she should have played in the WNBA? In the NBA, her versus Steph. Last year, we got to see Sabrina Ionescu versus Steph. Yeah. Steph ended up winning. This is something that, what if Steph doesn't play next year?
I'll tell you, I think I'm more looking forward. This sounds ludicrous. I'm more looking forward to watching the WNBA games than I am about the NBA games.
You ain't watching.
Spoken like a man with 2 daughters.
Three
daughters. 3 daughters. My bad.
I love Caitlin Clark. You guys know that. All right. I'm not hiding that fact. And I love Steph Curry. I'm not going to hide that fact. She's the best women's basketball player right now, and I think basically when it's all said and done, it'll be in history. For her turning down the NBA. I don't know. I think it would have, maybe that's her. Thanks for inviting me to the Olympics, not rebound.
Let me tell you why, Mass. Let me tell you why she said no. Because every single woman in basketball has been waiting for however many years, however many decades to be invited to something being done by the NBA to compete against the men.
But they did it last year.
But it's a different size ball.
But they did it last year.
It doesn't matter. She ain't hitting as many threes with a bigger ball than the ball that she's been shooting her whole life. Period.
Sabrina used her ball last year.
They let her use a women's ball?
Yeah. First of all, Sabrina
that
was
doesn't
cooking
seem
last
fair
year.
to me. Why are we in a competition with different balls?
Easy, fella.
Pause.
Easy, fella.
Yeah, because you have different balls.
Right.
But I'm sorry. This is the NBA three-point contest.
Right.
This is the NBA three-point contest. Period. It should be one
three-point
NBA
shooting is
ball.
the same.
That's it.
It's the same thing. 3-point shooting.
It's not. It's an NBA ball.
I get the difference in
it's
ball
an NBA
size.
ball.
I
right?
get the difference
it's
in
bigger.
ball size.
So
Yes.
why are you shooting with another league's ball?
Because that's her league.
But she was invited to the NBA three-point contest. You guys are arguing with me just to argue because this is ridiculous.
I'm not arguing with you. I'm asking you a question.
It's like bringing a woman to an RC contest and giving her a little bit of a faster car. It's ridiculous. It's stock. It's Wilson now. It's ridiculous.
Steph won last year, by the way.
R.I.P. Spalding.
Steph won last year, by the way.
But what I'm saying, though, is
Spalding and Sierra Mist went out together.
Thank you, man. We needed that. Anson was about to get revved up.
I mean, seriously, though, I don't understand how you can invite somebody into your competition and be like, well, you can shoot with a different ball that's lighter. I mean, if we're talking about equality, come on.
So you said Steph was at a disadvantage?
Was Steph at a disadvantage?
What?
Like
all I'm saying is the girl was at an advantage.
How?
Doesn't make because she was at because she gets to shoot her ball when everyone else is shooting a heavier ball.
But that's
you started the show off with
game.
DEI, bro.
But that's the ball.
And you want to talk about having different balls?
But
pause.
But it's the ball they use. Is what I'm confused by. You. That's the
in
ball.
the WNBA.
No, but it's the ball Steph uses as an NBA ball. The ball that Caitlin uses is her ball. So
this
it's no
is
advantage.
the NBA three-point competition,
But it was a
not
collab.
the WNBA competition. This is ridiculous. You guys are even pushing back on me at this at all.
It's a collab.
Thank you, Pete.
Did Sabrina use the WNBA ball? last year?
WNBA ball.
Yeah, that's the way it should be.
Yeah, like what are we talking about?
No. These are not the same league, bro.
I understand that.
Clearly, they're not the
Yeah,
same.
right,
You're
Anson.
trying not to laugh right now.
No,
Clearly,
I mean it.
they're not the same.
There's no way a woman is going to be able to do what she does in the WNBA with a ball that is a bigger ball.
What are we talking
That's
about?
it.
So
They
I'll
have
tell
to
you what,
use the
let's bring in some college guys for the skills competition this weekend at the Pro Bowl, and they can throw the smaller ball around. How about that?
The college
It
ball
wouldn't matter
smaller
because
than
it's
the
the Pro
NFL
Bowl.
ball?
Nobody watches it anyway.
Braylon, is the college football smaller than the pro football?
It's bigger.
It is bigger, right?
Bigger. Makes it easier to catch.
It's more round.
Yeah.
It's puffier.
Yeah, it's puffier.
We really spent 3 minutes on that.
All right, look, we appreciate you guys for joining the show.
I wish she would be in the I'd watch it. If she was in that competition, I would watch it.
College footballs are usually slightly smaller than NFL footballs.
Okay.
You just said it's bigger.
It's puffier.
It's puffier.
It's a puffier shirt.
Like it's an easy catch. It's like throwing a basketball. You slender it down in NFL, it makes it much tougher to catch, and it's a harder pause.
You should use the balls that you used to.
So I will default to you,
Just
all
use the
pro
balls
wide
that you
receiver
used
from
to.
the NFL.
Don't go chasing 3-pointers.
Yes, you were. And on the 07 Pro Bowl, as we learned earlier today.
Caught a pass from Peyton Manning and everything.
Sweet.
I dropped one too.
I love that he remembers that stuff. You hold yourself accountable in the greatest of ways.
Like to this day, I've scored 1 million touchdowns. I still think about the plays that didn't happen.
Give me two others.
For senior year, Ohio State, coach went forward in Ohio State in our own territory. We were backed up. We were losing by 13, and we went for it. And I dropped a mixed route that would have been first down, may even been a big play. Dropped that, and we never really stood a chance after that. Still thinking about that. And then USC, I dropped the pass on the sideline at the beginning of the game, and I think could have turned the momentum. Same thing I'm talking about with Gibbs and David Montgomery. Momentum is key early. We had the ball first, wide open down the sideline. Ball kind of got hung up a little bit. I go back to catch it. I can make this catch 1 million times. In this game, I didn't make it. We didn't get the momentum, and we never were able to catch up to USC. So those, they keep a brother up at night.
I still have shots, and one specific game that I coached as a high school head coach basketball that I still can't get over. Just one little adjustment.
Yeah. Thanks for bringing them up. Now I got PTSD. Now I'm sad.
Sorry, man.
Yeah. Hey, Red Wings in Edmonton tonight, starting a 4-game set. Oilers, I don't know. Could be a tough game here tonight, but go Wings.
They're not cooking with grease like they were last year. Connor McDavid is still the best player in the league, although there is another Connor. Connor Bedard is nice. Red Wings got screwed. We should have got it.
Wings, they dead.
Let's get the
Wings going for 4 in a row tonight. Go for it, fellas.
Watch the Red Wings and then come back tomorrow and finish out the week with us 2 to 4. We will be here. Ryan Ermanni's back.
We're going to be live on out Royal Oak.
Oh, we'll be live on Royal Oak down the street.
Right.
Literally 3 miles from
Might be my last show with y'all, man.
Last show.
Every
we got to make it a good one.
Yeah, here we go, man.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Fellas, I gotta go. I see you guys tomorrow. Appreciate you. Speak.
Yeah, it's a good to see you, buddy.
Great job, man. You had some great conversation. KG and Maz, love you.
Shut it, KG.
Love you, Maz.